Does the pea soup green dot matrix screen of the Game Boy conjure up your nostalgia for retro gaming? Well, sit right there, because I'm about to take you deep. Hi, I'm Scruffy Looking RGB. Today, we're looking through Akihabara for Game Boy games. No, not the 3DS, DS, or even the GBA. We're going old school today, my friend. So without further ado, let's get Scruffy Looking. Here we are in Superpotato's Game Boy display case, Alien 3 and Alien vs. Predator. They also have Irem Fighter. I think it's kind of like a card fighter type game. And Game Boy Wars, the Famitsu version, so it's like 12,000 yen. Spot Adventure, and one of my favorites, Parodius. Can never go wrong with that one. It's a great little shooter, and the Game Boy does it justice. We have Nemesis 2, another Gradius edition there that's always welcome in any shooter fan's collection. Xenon 2 is also a pretty good shooter for 7,400. Kind of expensive. And we've got Ponkotsu Tank, Jalopy Tank. I don't think that one was ever released in the States. 6,400 yen for that. Little ball-shaped tank. And also Vattelgeist is 3,200. A really fun shooter as well. Talking about all shooters just because I really enjoy them. Red Arima, I think that's a Gargoyle's Quest if I'm not mistaken in the US. 2,000 for that, about 2,500 yen. Biohazard down there for 5,000. Which I hear is not very good. We have Bart and the Beanstalk for 3,100. A lot of really interesting, quirky games on the Game Boy. Let's check out. They have some box games up top. Rockman World 4 for 13,000. We've got Pokemon Blue for 9,600. Nemesis 2 for 11,000, and Dracula for 7,000. Some good games here. Afterburst 8,000 and R-Type 2 for 16,000 in the box. Some pristine Game Boy Color games too. They have Shiren there and Chibi Maruko. Some other Sakura Taisen games as well. They had this GBA in here. It was like 21,000. I don't know what's special. It looks like a very common GBA. And Pokemon Center GBA for 39,000. And some SPs in there for close to about 20,000 a piece. But look at the shelf. They've got no Game Boys at all. They've all been cleared out of their Game Boys. No box Game Boys. Looks like people have gotten to the Game Boys, so they're selling like hotcakes here in Superpotato. A really rare Game Boy here, Game Boy Light Skeleton. Pretty interesting history behind that. Not going to get into it here, but a very interesting Game Boy. Clear. Very rare too. Got an interesting Famicom attachment in this Master Quest Zelda. Surugaya now, we got Snow Bros and this alligator game, I'm not sure the name, 6,500. And we got another Pokemon Blue for the same price as it was at Superpotato. Some GBA games in there, and we've got Vanishing Racer for 9,500, one of the more expensive games for the Game Boy. And Wizardry is like 17,000, and it's loose even. I don't know why that game is so darn expensive. There's a Wonder Swan, wine colored. We got Bubble Bobble for the disc system. And they do have some box games on the shelf here as well. Quite a few. Robo Tyson. Got this Gundam game here for 5,100 by Ban Presto. It is a simulation game, so probably not the best if you don't speak Japanese. But I may be mistaken. Picross down there. Galaxa. I can't remember the name of this game. Old school shooter, like Asteroid style. 1,800 yen. Last Bible. Here's a pretty good role-playing game. For the color, we got Link to the Past, I think. 2,800. Zelda DX. Gegege no Kitaro. And that's also role-playing, so probably not good for non-Japanese readers. We got Pokemon for about 6,500. It's interesting how this one is not as expensive as Blue Pokemon. I'm guessing there's some Pokemon you can get on Blue that you can't get on other Pokemon carts, which is probably why it's more. Populous Gaiden. Never knew they had Populous on the Game Boy. Pokemon Pinball for 2,200. Got Samurai Spirits here on the Game Boy too for 2,700. Looks like it's would be a good one. We got Metal Gear Ghost Babel. We got Parodius, my favorite, one of my favorites, 2,200. And Bonk there. We've got this Battle Unit Zeoth, 2,700. Pretty fun shooter. You're a mech. It's always good when you got a mech and you're a shooter. Here's a Game Boy memory card. I guess you could upload games on this at Lawson back in the day. I'm sure there are some rare downloadables floating around on those. I'm not too familiar with what they are though. Got Pokemon again for 1,100. And Mario Land is 2,300. But you go over here and you get the 6 golden coins, which is only 600. Go figure. I don't know why Mario Land is more expensive. If you guys know, let me know down in the comments. Wario 3 is only 700 yen. We've got Captain Tsubasa here for 600 yen. And Rockman World for 900. Rockman World 4 for 1,900. And another Rockman. Rockman X2 as well for the color. R-Type. You can never go wrong with R-Type. Great shooter. This one's cheaper. Might have to get the one on top here. R-Type 2, even better. 1,900 yen for that. What is this? Astro Rabbit. It says it's an action game. Looks interesting. Alleyway. Kind of a Pong looking type game. But there is another R-Type game called R-Type DX, and I think that is on the Color. It is a really good version of R-Type on the Game Boy Color. We've got X. This is, I think, a 3D, visually 3D game on the Game Boy, which is pretty cool. Sports game there. Godzilla-kun is a cute little action platformer. You're the baby Godzilla and you go on an adventure. Some golf, and we got Spot back there. This one is a little cheaper than the one at Superpotato, so definitely worth getting it here. It's about 1,500 yen cheaper, I think. Crayon Shin-chan games. We've got Metal Jack. Something police. Undercover police. No, that's not what it is. We've got Junkin Man, which was an old animation in Japan. Little action platformer. Looks like it's fun. We've got Bonk's Adventure back there. Or Game Boy Genjin Land, 1,400. And Interesting games here. Simulation games. Penguin. Bomberman Quest. Hokuto no Ken. Another Bomberman here. Action game. What else do we have? Ranma 1/2. An action game. That might be fun. It's only 770 yen. Burger Pocket. More like a puzzler, I would imagine, but probably a lot of fun. Meta robot game. Hamsters. Bitami Okoku Monogatari. Interesting. It's a role-playing game. Probably not so interesting. There's Turtles. You can't get more nostalgic than Turtles. Probably one of my top heavy rotation games when I was a kid. Daijin Kaisen is a shooting game. This struck me. This is the first time I've ever seen it. Interesting artwork. It reminds me of Hey and Kill Alien, which it actually is made by Melodic as well. But this game is also came out in the States. You get to choose from like ninjas, and here we got Dino Breeder 4 by J-Wing. Interesting. But back to that shooter game. It's supposed to be a pretty fun one. It looks like a lot of fun. We got Star Ocean here. Good role-playing game for the Game Boy Color, I hear. And some Snoopy action. It's 440 yen. All that. Some more shooting action. 16,500 for this bad boy here. And just noteworthy, we've got this DS keyboard Pokemon version. Pokemon's going crazy right now with the release of the game this weekend. Which Pokemon version are you buying? If you found this video useful and you really want to help out the channel, please consider donating by the way of super thanks. Just click the heart with the $sign and choose the amount you'd like to donate. Every little bit will go back to the channel to improve the quality of my videos. Plus, R2 really needs a new motivator. And if you can't donate, that's no biggie. Just don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for new weekly refurbs, modding, and game hunting from Japan, because it's free, and it happens every week. Thank you all for coming out with me on today's Game Boy Hunting Extravaganza. If you enjoyed this episode, there'll be some more fun waiting for you at the end screen. I've got more mods and game hunts, so check them out if you're interested. Don't forget to let me know what are some of your favorite Game Boy titles down in the comments. Take care, everyone, but don't forget to stay scruffy looking.
Who's scruffy looking?